Brazos Valley's news leader. This is News 3 at 10.
Good evening, I'm Clay Falls. A Bryan Women's Ministry brought the community together this Thanksgiving. Gloria Kennard and her annual feast have been feeding friends and strangers for 28 years right here in the Brazos Valley. Inside the walls of Pleasant Grove Baptist Church, you'll find fellowship and plenty of food.
Happy Thanksgiving. Good to see you all again.
Good to see you.
Thanks.
Gloria Kennard's mission is to make sure people feel loved.
So we're just so thankful today. We just got plenty of food. God has blessed us with plenty of food, and we're gonna eat, enjoy Jesus, enjoy one another.
It's not Thanksgiving if we're not here with Gloria.
Former College Station Mayor Nancy Berry has known her for nearly 30 years.
Oh, she's had a great impact. She started this because she was a food worker at A&M, and she was fixing Thanksgiving dinner, for the students. She says, no one does this in my neighborhood, and that's how she started it.
After music and a message, the serving lines opened up as people came to have their souls filled at tables, while others were getting food to go. Sammy Sestida was taking food to others.
We go over there to help the people who don't have food, so we try to help people out.
Robert Humphrey is a deacon at the church, which donated the kitchen and space.
We all here are put for a reason, and hopefully it's a peaceful reason. Here coming today is a way we can get together, have dinner and fellowship with each other, and just be thankful for what we got.
Why it's so important to me that we need to work together. We need to share our love for one another, just not on Thanksgiving, but every day, because every day is a day of Thanksgiving.
We found out tonight 617 plates of food were served, which is a new record for them. Special thanks to Ms. Kennard for giving me a place to celebrate and eat on Thanksgiving too. We'll have more news in just a moment, but first, meteorologist Mac Morris joins us from the Weather Center with a look at the weather. And Mac, it's been a picture-perfect Thanksgiving, hasn't it?
It was fantastic out there today, Clay. Temperatures topped out in the low 70s, and we had lots of sunshine early, and then we had a beautiful sunset. We had some of those high clouds start to filter in here. What is that a sign of? That's a sign of some change on the way. Could see a stray shower as we head into your Friday morning, and the weekend starts off a bit cooler. Temperatures right now in the 50s and low 60s, but as we get into the weekend, we're probably going to get into the 60s on Saturday, then warm back up again by Sunday and Monday, but then rain chances go up perhaps significantly by Monday into Tuesday, and we'll keep a close eye on that next cold front as it could bring some heavier rainfall to the Brazos Valley.
Thanks, Mac. The Black Friday shopping is well underway. People waited in front of storefronts hours before opening time to cash in on the savings. News 3's Abby Knight was at the Bryan Target when they opened their doors at 6. And Abby, you found out that thousands of people have already lined up waiting for the store to open.
Clay, I spoke to one College Station woman in line who's already completed much of her Black Friday shopping. She shared what items seem to be flying off the shelves.
Computers, the TVs, Beats.
Big deals drove even bigger crowds to stores across the BCS as Black Friday kicked off. Jody Oran is one of the many who stood in line at the Bryan Target, hoping for some great holiday deals.
A computer for my daughter who's going off to college next year, so we're out here trying to get it for her.
At Best Buy and College Station, Taylor Rowland's eyes were peeled on a little something for himself.
I'm going after a 50-inch Toshiba TV. That is the #1 pick for this evening.
Further down in line, Zara Smith waited alongside friends in hopes of no longer sharing.
My stepdad has a 75-inch TV in the living room, and I kind of getting tired of watching in the living room all the time, so I kind of want to get my own TV. So I saw great deals on the TV, and I'm trying to get a TV.
Hundreds waited in line, dashed and dove to get their hands on this year's hottest items first. Smith just hopes he snags his deal before someone beats him to the chase.
As long as I get my good deal, it'll be great.
Oran says she's just happy she won't go home empty-handed.
Is it what we wanted? There were some things we didn't get, but it wasn't, if it wasn't meant to be, it wasn't meant to be.
Target is staying open all night. The line has died down, but there's still a steady flow of people coming and going. Live in Bryan, Abby Knight, News 3.
Well, thank you very much, Abby. Coming up tomorrow on BBTM News 3's Courtney Burris will be live throughout the morning at Post Oak Mall trying to find all the best Black Friday deals. Well, a man spent his Thanksgiving in the hospital after an e-cigarette caused serious burns on his body. The dramatic incident was caught on camera in New York City. Otis Gooding was at work when the sparks started to fly. Gooding's e-cig had exploded in his pant pocket. He was rushed to the hospital for surgery and is expected to make a full recovery. The U.S. Fire Administration says more than 24 people reported incidents of explosions and fires caused by e-cigarettes between 2009 and 2014. Many were linked to the vaporizer's lithium battery overcharging, defects, and punctures that cause it to overheat and explode. Up the road in Falls County, an early morning fire destroyed a two-story home. It happened in Marlin, about 30 minutes south of Waco. Firefighters say the home was fully engulfed when they arrived on scene around 4:30 this morning. It didn't take long for crews to put out the fire, but the wood structure of the home burned fast, and all that was left was a pile of rubble. It didn't appear that anyone was living inside of the home. It was a day of protest in North Dakota. Nearly 300 opponents of the Dakota Access Oil Pipeline demonstrated in the town of Mandan. That's about 50 miles north from where demonstrators have camped out for months to protest the construction of the four-state pipeline. Protests against the pipeline have intensified in recent weeks, with total arrests since August rising to more than 520. The U.S. Navy is warning more than 130,000 sailors about a hack exposing their names and social security numbers. The Navy says unauthorized individuals accessed the information after a breach involving a Hewlett-Packard worker's laptop. Those affected included former and current sailors. They will be notified in the next few weeks. The Navy says at this stage of the investigation, there is no evidence to suggest misuse of the information that was compromised. This Thanksgiving, President-elect Donald Trump is calling for national healing and unity. Trump took to Twitter today to say he's working hard to keep manufacturing in America. He also released a pre-Thanksgiving video asking Americans to set aside their differences.
We've just finished a long and bruising political campaign. Emotions are raw and tensions just don't heal overnight.
Trump's advisor Kellyanne Conway is also weighing in on 2012 GOP nominee Mitt Romney. He is on the short list to be Secretary of State despite his fierce criticism of Trump during the campaign. Conway tweeted today that the potential pick has led to a deluge of messages warning against Romney. She then posed a checklist of attributes she believes makes a good Secretary of State, being loyal as one of them. Meanwhile, a lawyer for Green Party candidate Dr. Jill Stein says she will formally request a statewide recount in Wisconsin by tomorrow's deadline after raising more than $3 million for the recount costs. Stein is also looking into requesting recounts in Michigan and Pennsylvania. Thousands of troops are serving in Iraq and Syria this Thanksgiving. We'll show you how the service members spent their holiday away from home. And the Aggies look to snap their 5-game losing streak to LSU. We'll show you the highlights later in sports.
And it's been a rather pleasant Thanksgiving day, but could we see some rain? We'll talk about that forecast after this break.
News 3 weather from the Pinpoint Forecast Team. Brought to you by the Bank and Trust. Local bank, local bankers. And now, local weather.
Well, what a great way to start off this weathercast with some holiday lights in downtown Bryan. Temperatures right now are sitting in the 60s, 65 in College Station, 60 in Bryan. East-southeasterly winds about 5 miles per hour. It's relatively calm out there. You're not going to notice much of a breeze, but it's gotten cooler up to the north. The Panhandle dropping into the 30s, 38 in Amarillo, 52 in Oklahoma City, but 50s to our north, 60s here. We got some low 50s at times, though, off to our north and east. We got some more clouds, though, building in, and that's going to keep temperatures kind of in check overnight tonight. We were at 64 last hour. Now we're at 65, 56 in Madisonville, 54 in Crockett, and 53 right now in Conroe. A little bit less cloud cover out to the east, more cloud cover here in the central and western parts of the area. That's going to keep temperatures up a little bit more overnight tonight. We should drop into the mid-50s, though, for most of us, and we'll cool things off pretty quickly towards tomorrow morning. And then we get into the afternoon, we should warm into the upper 60s to around 70, and a frontal boundary comes through earlier in the day. Probably won't drop temperatures very much, but we will see that chance for a stray shower or two in the morning and through perhaps the early afternoon. Then we drop things down to the upper 50s or low 60s again by this time tomorrow evening. Brief rain chance, like I said, on Friday. The weekend starts off a bit cool, and a bigger rain chance returns as we get into the beginning of next week. What do we got across the state? Well, lots of mid to high level clouds sweeping across the area from west to east. And as we get more clouds to move in here, that's a sign of more moisture coming back into the Brazos Valley. And as far as things go with your pinpoint forecast, we'll keep those clouds around overnight. The rain mainly looks like it's going to stay off to our west tomorrow, but some of that could work its way into our western and northwestern counties. Milam, Robertson, as well as in portions of Brazos County could work its way in here all the way down to the south into parts of Belleville and maybe Brenham. And that quickly pushes out of the area, and then we get some sunshine to break back out in the afternoon, and we should see a rather comfortable start to the weekend. 54 for tonight, increasing clouds late, a stray shower possible after midnight tonight, and then for tomorrow, we'll start off in the morning with maybe a few showers and some relatively dry roads, but maybe a couple slick spots out there, but it should be all green and good to go for the afternoon heading into the evening with temperatures in the upper 60s to low 60s. Your 7-day forecast, things are looking pretty quiet across the Brazos Valley, at least through the weekend. And then the beginning of next week gets a bit more active, Clay, as we see that chance for some rain return at Monday into Tuesday. And we could see some pretty heavy rain on Tuesday.
Thanks, Mac. Well, if you have anything to do outside this weekend, there's no excuse not to be outside. It's going to be absolutely gorgeous.
That's
yes.
a good thing to do.
Yep.
If you have some
Sunny
Christmas
skies.
lights, put them up this weekend. Not a bad idea.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Mac. Well, a myriad of floats and balloons were on display in downtown Houston today. The 67th annual HEB Thanksgiving Parade has wrapped up for another year. Parade goers and participants were up early, prepping floats and getting warmed up for big performances. Olympic gold medalist Simone Manuel and Simone Biles grand marshaled the event that brought thousands of people to downtown this year. An estimated 3.5 million spectators lined the streets of Manhattan for New York's iconic Thanksgiving Day parade. Millions more watched from home. NYPD increased security for the event after security threats. Balloons in the shapes of Charlie Brown, Pikachu, and trolls filled the sky as marching bands and parade cars accompanied them. American troops serving around the world were able to enjoy a traditional Thanksgiving feast.
Coming up Friday on BBTM, the Red Rangerettes are hosting their first holiday extravaganza. You and your little girls are going to want to participate.
And if you want to know which Black Friday deals to take advantage of, look no further than BBTM.
That's right. News 3's Courtney Burst will be live at Post Oak Mall Friday morning, checking out some of the best deals our stores have to offer. All that and much more coming up on a Black Friday edition of BBTM.
Hey, honey. You remember to lock the Buick, right?
Of course I do. I'd never forget that.
The My Buick app, now available in every Buick.
You closed all the apartment windows, too.
Come on. Really?
You're the best.
It's Black Friday all month long at your Buick dealer. Now get cash back for 20% of the MSRP on select 2016 vehicles in stock.
Don't miss our Black Friday specials at Haverty's Furniture. Big savings in-store only this Friday, 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. Plus, win up to $250 off your total purchase and get 36-month no-interest financing. Black Friday specials while supplies last. Friday, 3 hours only. With Haverty's, your home can be perfect, even when life isn't. Don't miss our Black Friday specials at Haverty's. Life looks good.
My hero, zero, such a funny little hero, but till you came along, we counted on our fingers and toes. Now you're here to stay, and nobody really knows.
Zero really can be a hero. Get zero down, zero deposit, zero due-it signing, and zero first month's payment on select Volkswagen models. This Black Friday at the Volkswagen Sign Then Drive event.
How wonderful you are.
Thursdays are Aggie Night Out at Messina Hoff Winery and Resort. Try Messina Hoff's Aggie Network wine and show your Aggie ring or student ID for happy hour pricing.
Don't miss the excitement of SEC football Thanksgiving weekend on KBTX. SEC football on KBTX is brought to you in part by Douglas Nissan.
The year-end sales event is on at your Texas Ford dealer with huge Black Friday offers. Get limited time year-end savings across our entire lineup, plus $1,000 Black Friday bonus cash on top of other great offers. That's $1,000 bonus cash on F-Series, Fusion, and Escape. This is the best time to buy America's best-selling brand and the best-selling brand in Texas. Get $10,900 savings on F-150 plus $1,000 Black Friday cash plus $500 Ford credit cash plus $1,000 loyalty cash at your Texas Ford dealer.
You're watching KBTX KBTX News 3. The people you know, the news you trust.
6,000 American service members are celebrating Thanksgiving in Iraq. Thanks to the Army's cooks, they're still getting a taste of home. Holly Williams reports from northern Iraq.
They're fresh-faced, many of them not long out of high school.
Radio check, over.
And they're America's soldiers in the fight against ISIS, serving with the 101st Airborne Division here at Camp Swift in northern Iraq.
My first time out of the U.S.
It's a long way from home for Private First Class One Beam, a 19-year-old from Fontana, Southern California, on his first tour of duty.
This is my first one, you know, I came out of basic, couple months, went air assault school and stuff like that. Then straight here, you know.
Private Beam and many others at Camp Swift were children when the U.S. invaded Iraq in 2003 and told us they don't know very much about America's recent history here. But 5 years after the U.S. said it had left Iraq for good, there are now around 6,000 American service members back in the country again. Private First Class Patrick Meehan from Pepperell, Massachusetts, is part of the security detail for the senior officers who work in the camp's command center, launching airstrikes on ISIS.
So the idea is that you could give your life to protect senior officers?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that scary?
No, ma'am. Not really.
Big jobs resting on very young shoulders. Specialist Monique Frink, a 22-year-old from Goldsboro, North Carolina, told us she's thankful to her grandfather, who also served as a military cook, inspiring her to enlist.
And they gave it to me. I've loved it ever since.
A passion to serve their country in many different ways has led them halfway across the world and into the battle to defeat ISIS extremists. Holly Williams, CBS News, Camp Swift, Northern Iraq.
The Aggies try to get over the hump both in November at Kyle Field and over the LSU Tigers. We'll wrap it up next in sports, plus the Cowboys win again and the Aggie men's basketball team takes on Cal State in Northridge out in sunny Southern California.
Sports is presented by Allen Honda, corner of Southwest Parkway and Highway 6. Allen's got your Honda. From the KBTX Sports Center, News 3 Sports starts now.
Quite a bit on the line tonight at Kyle Field for the Aggies' regular season finale against LSU. A shot at a 10-win season, a better bowl game, maybe even Kevin Sumlin's job, all up in the air as the Aggies look to beat the Tigers for the first time as members of the SEC. Trevor Knight, rumored to be starting after missing the last game and a half with a shoulder injury, and he does indeed. But LSU gets the ball first, and they drive the field. Darius Geis gets free, and they are not going to catch him. 45-yard touchdown. Tigers jump out to a 7-0 lead. Midway through the first, though, the Aggies have it answered. Knight up top to Christian Kirk, who's open for a 36-yard touchdown. Texas A&M ties things up at 7 apiece. Tigers up 10-7 after one, and they are driving for more here. Geis, the ridiculous spin move for a 20-yard gain. It leads to another field goal and a 13-7 LSU lead. Looks like that will be the score heading into halftime, but LSU will make a great play on defense. Devin White ripping the ball away from Travion Williams for the turnover just before he hits the ground. And 2 plays later, Danny Etling goes up top to Marcus Dupree on the double move. That goes for a 20-yard touchdown. LSU leads at 20-7 at the half. Aggies score first on a field goal to cut the deficit to 20-10 in the third. The Tigers bounce back in a big way. Geis gets free for a 45-yard score. LSU takes control up 27-10. Then after a stop, the Tigers get on the scoreboard once again. Guess who? Geis dancing up the middle. He runs for 285 yards in the game, and LSU leads at 34-10 midway through the third. Texas A&M doesn't fold up shop quite yet. Travion Williams caps an 8-play, 75-yard drive with a 33-yard touchdown. He becomes the first Aggie freshman to ever run for over 1,000 yards in a season. That makes it 34-17, but the Aggies simply cannot stop the Tigers. They drive the field again. DJ Chark takes it on the reverse from 7 yards. yards. That makes it 41-14 early in the fourth. The Aggies able to do what no other team has done this year, and that's put 21 points on the board against the Tigers. Happens here when Knight finds Christian Kirk for a 43-yard score and a 2-point try to make it 41-25. However, the Aggies just have no answer for the usually not so good LSU offense. Entling hits Russell Gage, who just does get a toe in. That pushes the lead to 47-25, and now the shootout goes back and forth. LSU can't stop the Ags either. Here's Knight to Josh Reynolds for a 32-yard touchdown. Another 2-point conversion makes it 47-33. Geist, though still not done, gets into the end zone for the fourth time. That makes it 54-33. More than enough for LSU. They hand the Aggies yet another Kyle Field loss in November. Your final score, 54-39. Dallas Cowboys in their usual Thanksgiving Day slot as they host the Washington Redskins. We go to the second quarter. Dallas on top 10-3. Dak Prescott buying time, and he hits Terrence Williams, who taps his toes in the corner of the end zone. Cowboys lead it 17-3. Now to the fourth. Dallas up just 17-12, but they score again. Prescott keeps it on the bootleg and gets in from 6 yards out, and the Cowboys double their lead to 24-12. Redskins hang around in this one, though. Kirk Cousins throws for 449 yards, 67 of them here to Deshaun Jackson. That pulls Washington within 24-19, but Dallas answers again. Ezekiel Elliott into the end zone from a yard out. He runs for 97 and 2 scores. Cowboys make it 10 wins in a row, 31-25 the final.
Different times at the critical moments, our offense just responded, and some of those drives had critical third downs within them, where Dak made a throw, Dak made a play with his feet. One of the guys came up with something big to keep the drive alive, and again and again and again in this game and really throughout the year, that's been the case, and we needed those drives. The guys came through.
With the win, the Cowboys move to 10-1. They will play the Vikings next week. Aggie men's basketball also in action on Turkey Day as they open the Wooden Legacy out in California against Cal State Northridge. DJ Hogue with the hot hand early in this one, draining the long-range bomb from well beyond the three-point line as the Aggies go ahead 12-6. Later in the first half, A&M gains control of the loose ball, kicks it out to J.C. Hampton, who hits the corners three. He'd scored 9 points as the Aggies extend their lead to 11. Then right before the end of the first half, Northridge with the miss and long rebound. Easy dunk for Admon Gilder. Aggies up 53-27 at the half. Gilder was 17. Second half, all Ags as well. Hogue leads the way with 25, including hitting 3 of 4 three-pointers. Aggies rebound with the 95-73 win. They'll face Virginia Tech in the semifinals Friday on ESPNU. So a bit of good news after a pretty bad day, Aggie-wise. The loss to LSU, not good. We'll see how this goes heading into the bowl week and heading into the bowl games, that is, and heading into the offseason with Kevin Sumlin.
For whatever reason, they've not ever been able to tame the Tigers, it seems.
It's been a long time. 95, I think.
But the Cowboys won in 10 in a row now. That's incredible. We'll see how their season goes. I know you're not as excited.
I'm smiling. I'm not angry.
Thanks, Cody. Well, we'll wrap up this newscast right after this. But first, a quick look outside from our Live On Network. Here's downtown Bryan. Donald Trump's Make America Great Again Christmas ornament is making quite a splash online. The little red cap is imprinted with the Trump election phrase. The brass ornament is finished in 24-karat gold, and for just $149, it can be yours. Many comments and reviews on Amazon.com poked fun of the ornament, but most of the reviews appear to be fake. You can find the ornaments on sale at DonaldJTrump.com. And take a look at this. Normally images of snow in Japan wouldn't be all that interesting, except this is the first November snowfall for the country's capital of Tokyo that they've seen in 54 years. November 1962 was the last recorded November snow for Tokyo, and while local media described it as only a small accumulation, it was enough to reportedly disrupt traffic and cause power outages. That's a really pretty sight there.
Wow, okay. That's pretty cool, actually. As far as our temperatures go, I don't think we're going to see any snow around here anytime soon, but we could get a bit cooler as we head into next week. I wouldn't mind seeing some snow, but around here it's a little bit more difficult to come by. Temperatures will be a bit cooler this weekend, but then we warm it back up on Sunday heading into Monday with rain chances going up perhaps quite a bit more Monday into Tuesday.
Wonderful. Well, I'd love to see some snow. That would sure put us into the season in spirit.
Be really cool, but no pun intended.
A while.
Not going to happen.
Maybe February. Well, that's all of our time this evening. Have a good night and a happy Thanksgiving from our KBTX family to yours.